Force users, I am Corey from Super Kami Guru 9000, and welcome to Star Wars for 100 Days, the ultimate fan countdown to the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Today I'm going to take a look at Chapter 9 of Star Wars Clone Wars, which features the final battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Dirge. There are so many little cool details about this episode, and I'm not even talking about the battle between Obi-Wan and Dirge yet. I think my favorite thing outside of their fight in this chapter was just getting to see the entrance that Obi-Wan Kenobi actually makes. He's still riding on his speeder bike, and he actually uses it to ride up the side of this massive skyscraper. As soon as he gets right to the top of the building, he actually jumps off of the speeder bike, which just falls below and is destroyed as he makes this big, flashy, superhero-esque entrance. The scene is really cool, and it's also really funny because he has no regard for the equipment that actually belongs to the Republic. He just destroyed a very expensive speeder bike, and no one even questions any of it. I guess the Republic just has unlimited funds, Scrooge McDuck style, so that they can buy any single weapon they want. Hell, they have their own clone army, they can pretty much do just about anything. But this episode really is all about the final confrontation with Dirge, who, after his last battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi, had his right arm cut off, and he was completely cut in half, Darth Maul style. But because he can regenerate, he just decides to put himself back together, and this really pisses him off. Because when he actually enters this room, which is actually held by the Intergalactic Banking Clan, he comes into the room missing most of his armor, which is now stripped from his body, and you get to see what his actual form looks like, which is this giant mass of purple and blue tentacles, which can stretch and contort. And it's unintentionally funny, but as soon as he busts into the room, Fordo and all the other clone troopers just completely unload on him, just blasting him with everything, and it almost seems like that's the defeat of Dirge. But no, he manages to enlarge himself and starts charging at Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this is when they begin to have their epic final battle. And at first it almost seems like Dirge is going to win when he actually takes Obi-Wan Kenobi into his body and literally tries to consume him and absorb him into his own chest. That is until Obi-Wan Kenobi uses the power of the Force to literally push his way out, exploding Dirge's body, sending his guts and tendrils and all the nasty bits all over the place. This is another one of those scenes that I was like, wow, I cannot believe they got away with this on Cartoon Network back in the day, but the end of the episode will indicate that Dirge is still going to survive. He's unfortunately not going to appear in the Star Wars Clone Wars series anymore, but he does appear in the expanded universe, and that's because you can see his body parts sort of slithering away into the shadows. This episode is so freaking cool, and it also just happens to feature some really unique animation for the series. Not only that, but pretty much everybody gets to do something cool. Obi-Wan isn't the complete star in this episode. In fact, General Fordo is the one who actually almost ends up saving him, because after Dirge actually consumes Obi-Wan's body, he actually shoots this like weird wire at him which attaches right to Dirge's helmet, which completely electrifies him, but he actually ends up sending them all away, and that's when he is ultimately defeated. You get to see Obi-Wan fighting against droids, destroyer droids. It's just got a really great sense of action in this episode, and it's one that is definitely worth seeing, especially because it is the conclusion of the battle of Obi-Wan and Dirge. So this is without a doubt one of my favorite episodes from the series, but still, it actually gets better from here. There's a lot of cool surprises. We still have the battle between Anakin and Asajj Ventress. Mace Windu is eventually going to show up, and we also get to see the formal introduction of a certain droid general who has a very important role in Revenge of the Sith. But that is a discussion for another day. What I will say is, this episode is just pure awesome fun, with a lot of creative action, some fantastic animation, just a small amount of humor, and it's just a really memorable episode of Clone Wars. So I highly recommend checking out this episode, as well as the entire series. But you guys know that I like this episode, but I want to hear from you. Did you watch Star Wars Clone Wars? What did you think of the battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Dirge? Do you think there's a small possibility that Dirge could actually return in the future, considering he can regenerate? And what do you want to see from Star Wars The Force Awakens? Please tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching my video. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.